Good morning and happy Saturday. It is Saturday, June 6th, and this is Saturday morning coffee with Ken. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. This show I've been doing since July. And hey, Scott, thank you for watching. Fritz, thank you for watching. We're coming up on a year. It's June 6th. And like I said, I've been doing this show since July. And for those that have been watching for a while, and I want to thank you all that have been watching for a while, there's only one rule with Saturday morning coffee with Ken. And it's that I do not get to have my very first sip of coffee on a Saturday morning until I push live on Facebook. And I've done that. So, as I always say, without further ado, I'm going to have my very first sip of coffee, and I hope wherever you are, you're enjoying your coffee as well. So, cheers to us. Drinking a Sumatra this morning. As I mentioned last week, I'd switched to a vanilla hazelnut, much to the chagrin of Anne Marie. She apparently thinks it's a little too sweet and prefers this. So yesterday we had to run to the store and we bought some Starbucks Sumatra. So I'm drinking that and I'm going to have my second sip right now. How are you doing? Thank you all for watching. Thank you. Good morning, Scott Cooper. Hi, Fritz Wilson. Thank you, Carrie Ann Walker and Dave Romano and anyone that's liked my video. Or liking my video. As I say every week, I have I guess a big ego. So I love likes, I love shares, I like comments, and I'd like to make this as interactive as possible. I'm going to do my best. Hazelnut smells like Christmas. Hazelnut? Yeah, I love hazelnut. Fritz? It's Anne Marie that won't let me drink it. I'm going to do my best to try and keep this as interactive as possible. It has been a crazy week. It's been a crazy year. I know, just a crazy year. And honestly, I'm kind of excited that we have something else to talk about than the pandemic that was going around, for the last few months. And I know it's still going around. I know a lot of people are still real worried about it, so I'm not trying to touch that. One thing I've learned in this last week, and I consider myself politically kind of central, maybe a little bit of right of center. And I always thought that was cool because I could kind of agree with everybody and see both sides. And one thing I've learned over the last week is that, even when you try and understand people and when you try and see both sides to an argument, you can get sucked into disagreeing with everybody, or there's some people on the extremes on both sides of an argument that can find a way to disagree with you, no matter what type of bridge you're trying to build or what trying to understanding or where you're coming from or anything like that. And I've dealt a lot with that this week. And real quick recap of our week. A lot's been going on in Naperville, and there's been a ton going on, a lot of protests, and 3 individual Black Lives Matter protests. And Anne-Marie and I run a page, as probably a lot of you know, on Facebook named 365 Things to Do in Naperville. And I've had it going for, I don't know, almost 8 or 9 or 10 years or something like that, a long time. And generally we cover, parades and we take pictures. Thanks for the downtown reports this week. It was great. Thank you, John. I'm going there right now. Thanks for saying that, because I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you saying that. Like I said, we run a page. It's called 365 Things to Do in Naperville. And generally we like to post pictures of ourselves at bars or at restaurants eating nice food, or taking pictures of parades, or shooting cool murals or doing little live videos of the river walk, kind of light pieces that it seems everybody kind of agrees with. Um, and somehow we found ourselves in the middle of this hotbed of, well, I know why. There was a Black Lives protest matter on Monday at 3 o'clock, last Monday. I decided at that time it was something, I'd never experienced. you know, I'm a white guy from the western suburbs of Chicago. So I knew inside that I didn't understand the message that was being relayed. And I didn't get it. And that I come from a background that some minorities, specifically blacks, didn't have the benefit of coming from. And so I wanted to check it out and learn a little bit more for myself. And thank you, Scott Cooper, for saying that. I wanted to learn a little bit more to myself. And the demonstration was at 3 o'clock last Monday, the first one. And I was sitting here talking to Anne Marie, and I'm saying, hey, really want to go check this out. And she was worried, and I posted something on Facebook that I was going to go check it out, and a lot of people were worried. By the way, I do drink water. It's not just coffee. But speaking of that, I'm going to have another sip. So I went down there, and I told Anne Marie I was going, and she loves me and cares about me, and was worried and said, oh, I'm not sure you should go. Everyone's been watching on the news and seeing a lot of violent, protests or riots have taken place, and a lot of crazy things have gone on. And honestly, I was kind of curious, and I wanted to understand it better. And the inner reporter in me wanted to cover it a little bit more. So I went down town and did a couple shots and did some filming of the protests. I actually kneeled and did a moment of silence with the protest, and thought it was pretty cool. And honestly, I think Anne Marie and I both, in our exposure over this week, have had our eyes opened a little bit to the Black Lives Matter cause and understand it in ways we couldn't have if we didn't put ourselves in the middle of it. So that's what I did. And Anne Marie ended up joining me later in the evening, and we shot a long live video, and overall I'll say it was a peaceful protest other than interrupting traffic and a lot of F-bombs and some swearing and that sort of thing. The message sunk in a little with me, and I thought that was neat. And I apologize if I'm in the dark and in the light and in the dark, and I hope it's not bothering any of you. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Denise. Hi, Cindy. Thank you all for tuning in. But anyway, Anne Marie and I left the protest about 9:30. Things kind of started getting a little scary. Some windows started getting broken, and the cops came out and said they were going to start arresting everybody because they initiated a curfew. They were going to arrest people that didn't disperse. And we wanted to cover it. We wanted to understand better, but we certainly didn't want to get arrested. So we started leaving. A couple like M80s are really loud. You're good with the light. Thank you, Fritz. Went off as we were leaving, and some, moderate chaos ensued, but it was really not what had gone on in other towns. There was a little bit of looting. There was a lot of bit of glass breaking, which I think is unfortunate. But that's what happened. We went out to cover the cleanup the following morning. We got there like 7:45, and there were so many people walking around the town with brooms and sweeping up and cleaning glass, and we just thought it was a beautiful thing. And we filmed that live. And we had some breakfast. We were sitting on a bench in downtown Naperville, and we heard some I'd call it discourse, but I'd say it was some loud arguing. And it was a man's voice and some young ladies' voices, and we're sitting on this bench, and Anne Marie I'm going to give her a nickname of Scoop, because I think she likes a good story and wants to cover it and is awesome at what she does and is curious and aggressive enough to put herself out there and get involved and film it. So she took her camera, I think it might have been my camera, or phone, I mean, and said, hey, I'm going to go film this. They're arguing over there. And I go, well, I was tired. You know, we'd been up late last night. We'd been out this morning. And I said, well, cheers to you, Tony. Yeah, go ahead and cover it if you'd like. And so she walked down the street, and the yelling continued. And she caught some video that caught Naperville in, you know, I mean, I honestly think it was a great video, because it was a bunch of young women in a heated argument about the Black Lives Matter movement with an older gentleman. And while she was filming, a couple women ran up and tore down 4 hearts that were on a boarded up wall along the Apple store. And I apologize if I'm boring you with this story, and I'd like this issue to go away, but it's still not going away. So I wanted to address it here and not hide from it, because I don't want to, you know, I want to give it to you like it is. So anyway, she caught a couple women come across and tear down, I think there were 4 hearts on a boarded up wall of the Apple store in downtown Naperville. And she kept filming, and the girls were crying, and, you know, we talked to them just briefly. We didn't think, you know, a ton more of it. It just, you know, honestly, if she didn't film it on video, it would have been one of a million, you know, arguments or fights or disputes that happens in this country every day. However, we did film it, and we did film it live, and we have a fairly large audience apparently, and shared it to some various pages, and the video really went viral. And I've said this before, and I apologize if I'm boring you, but I'm going to say it again. Right now, the video's been seen by like 500,000 times. We've gotten coverage from, you know, a ton of news sources, and people are calling me and going, hey, you were on Fox News last night. Or, no, I wasn't on, but our page was, our video was, and they referred to us. And, you know, we like that. We appreciate our, you know, what we do getting out there. But it really exploded in a way we couldn't imagine. And anyway, I'm going to have some more coffee. I've only had a couple sips, and it's way too late in the morning to only be at a couple sips. Anyway, there's been a couple more protests and a couple more demonstrations, and we've covered a ton, and we've shot more live video footage in this last week. I don't know, probably, I can't even guess how many hours of live, you know, time we've spent talking on camera, being in front of camera, covering things that are relevant to people in Naperville for sure, but probably people around the country. And one cool thing I'll go back to, and it made me feel so good, and I know it made Anne-Marie feel so good. That video we caught and shared, and has been shared, you know, again, seen like 500,000 times, kind of sparked a movement. And hi, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Love you out there in Boston. Started a movement in Naperville for sure. But I know it's happening in other suburbs, and I'd be surprised if it didn't spread around the country, where people would come out, put hearts on the walls, and they'd write Black Lives Matter or BLM or a peace or love, or, you know, I've seen some Black Power salutes. So whatever little bits of, you know, thing they want to write on that heart and put them on the wall is fine with us, and we think it's beautiful, and it's turned the ugly boarded up plywood walls in my gorgeous downtown in Naperville into something pretty that stands for something, and I think stands for something good, honestly. So that was cool, and it felt nice. You know, it was just a fortunate thing we happened to be in the right place at the right time to film a little incident that has blown up into a movement, and it felt good to be a part of that. And we're proud that we were a part of that, and I hope we had somehow, some small way, made a little bit of a difference by doing it, and it felt great. And again, we were glad to be a part of it. people continued to reach out to us, so we continued to film these videos live. I think we got a ton of good interviews. Hi, Paula. Yeah, those girls were amazing. I've met them a few times. And for young ladies heading off to college, the maturity and the eloquence with which they speak was just really impressive for, I think it was 4 or 5 young ladies that went to Naperville North High School just down the road. But we met a lot of really good people out at that the heart demonstration. We met a lot of people of all colors, and it's hard because I'm a white guy, so it's hard even addressing the issue of race. Because if you say something wrong, especially when you're doing it on live video, it can really ruffle a lot of feathers. So, I don't want to do that, but I do want to tell our version of the story. And we were downtown filming people, and again, people of all colors. And I could, we talked to some black people, African American people. And I think they felt some pride in the town and felt some good that was happening and felt like their voice was being heard, because thousands and thousands and thousands of hearts are covering Naperville. And I believe we saw them up in Hinsdale. And again, we were just one small part in it. But it does feel good to be a small part in something that I think is important. Real quickly, I'm going to explain what I've learned in the last week regarding, and I'm sorry if I'm ruffling feathers in anything I say, because it's such a hot box topic. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Thanks, how are you?
I'm filming a live video.
Excellent.
Dog walker. Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was one that, anytime I heard Black Lives Matter, I didn't understand. And I hate to be political, and it's going to get me in trouble, but what the heck? Maybe it's for a greater good. I would always say, well, all lives matter. And honestly, it's true. All lives do matter. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, or green. However, I think the difference, and what's opened my eyes in the last week is, thank you, Scott Cooper. Good morning, Michael. What's opened my eyes in the last week is nobody ever doubted that my life mattered, because I'm a white man and I come from something and have had some opportunities that some other people probably haven't and didn't grow up with. And if I was a black man, I honestly think there's a certain segment of the population that would question the relevance of my life, and they'd look at me different, and they'd they'd look at me different and look at me as an issue or something to be dealt with or a burden or whatever stereotype they want to put on it. And I'm fortunate enough as a white guy to not have to face that every day. And I think when they're saying Black Lives Matter is, they just want to make it clear. And again, yes, whether you're black, white, yellow, or green, your life matters. But people already understand that and assume that with me. And if I was arrested and pulled over in Minneapolis for counterfeiting a bill, I don't think I would end up with a knee on my neck, and because I'm a white guy. And if that is the case, that's not right. And I think that's what this protest is about. And you were waiting for me to yell at somebody, Slavka. Who was I going to yell at? Oh, I just did. It's Stephanie. Yeah. I think that's what this protest is saying. And, again, this is just one man's opinion. But I understand in a way that I didn't 2 weeks ago. And a lot of people have questioned why we're covering it and saying we're just promoting ourselves, and which, kind of hurts me, because we're putting ourselves out there, or we're trying to put ourselves out there, but it's not for us. It's to show something that we think is important. And for whatever reason, we have an audience to do that. And, I think we're going to continue to use our platform. And if it ruffles a couple feathers, it's going to ruffle a couple feathers. Because, sometimes there's maybe a greater good. And if I'm a real estate agent, so I don't like ruffling feathers, but if somebody doesn't want to use me as a realtor because, I post a video of a protest, that's fine. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because it feels good. So anyway, I woke up this morning, was feeling good, was excited about this, and I read a couple, I'd say very terse comments about something. Hi, Paula. Some very terse comments to a post I made last night, and it got me in a bad mood and kind of bummed me out, and I was sad, and I don't like to be sad. I'll go on. I'm going to keep talking. Sorry if I'm rambling. The two women who tore down those hearts in our original video, I have met, and their identities came out, and somebody, I guess, saw their license plate number and found out who they were or something. I don't know how they did it, but found out their identities. And I wrote a post last night because I was concerned for these ladies. I think what they did was wrong. I think it was a quick emotional response the day after some riots in a town they love. So they went up and tore down some hearts and maybe misunderstood what was going on. But I met them, and they were very sad and remorseful and felt bad. And I wrote a post about that last night, and I got some angry comments about it for rationalizing their behavior. And I don't know if I'm rationalizing or just trying to understand. And maybe for us to solve this race issue, we have to go out of our way to try and understand different perspectives. It seems when we're so polar opposite in our opinions, in our ideas, and our beliefs, we have a problem seeing the other person's side. And I think, like I said, I probably describe myself politically as slightly right of center because I'm more central. I can see both sides, and I hope I can use that and use our audience, and Anne-Marie and I can continue to film cool stuff and use our position to hopefully bring both sides together. And I think that's what we're doing. They say never discuss religion or politics. When you think about it, the demonstration is one of the 365 things. Yeah, a lot of people are really upset. We're posting these they're demonstrations in our city. What are we going to do, ignore them? They're important. They mean something. We've seen things that I didn't think I'd ever see, especially in downtown Naperville. Riot police and huge SWAT cars and rioting and standoffs with police. And I just think these are, this is a significant time, and I'm happy that, I got to experience it a little bit. Stick to your convictions, hear both sides. Hey, thank you, Nita. I don't think I know you, but thank you so much. What was your mission, Ken? What am I lesson? Hey, I can only read part of your comments. I always read all my comments afterwards, and I thank you so much for giving them or putting them out there and sharing them, because this video gets a fair audience. And if you write something down or make a comment, it's probably going to get read by a heck of a lot of people. So please share your thoughts. If you have any questions specifically for me or my experiences or my thoughts, I'd be happy to answer them here. And I can talk about all sorts of things, not just this demonstration. I got lots of opinions and lots of beliefs and lots of ideas. So if you have any questions for me, please shoot, and I'll either answer them here live for you or go back and look at your comments afterwards. Cheers. And answer them there. So I guess my message is you can't please everybody. So maybe I need to stop trying and, again, just do myself and try and be the best version of me. And Anne-Marie and I working hard to be the best version of ourselves. It's been an exhausting week. We spent a lot of time on the streets. Our tempers, I got mad at Anne-Marie over something really silly yesterday afternoon. We were filming a video. I felt out of place. She was filming some guys getting arrested by the cops at yesterday's protest. I felt left out, and I was tired, and I was hungry, and it was hot and humid, and I got mad and didn't know where my place was, and I kind of stormed off, and I hurt her. And we're a team, we work together, and we're partners. And I guess my point is, I'm not a woman, and I cannot begin to imagine how it is to thought and felt by them. Michael, yeah, me neither. Yeah, you and I, again, it's so easy to get political, and when you're doing it on social media, it's a dangerous place to go. Um, but I know I've been pulled over several times in my life, and I would say generally, I don't know, I'm probably given the benefit of the doubt in most cases. You've done the right thing. Take a ride on the scooter. Oh, we're going to take a ride on the scooter. I'll get that. When I'm pulled over, I know I'm usually getting the benefit of the doubt, and I know other people aren't, probably don't get that same benefit. And honestly, I don't think that's right at all. Um, but I know what goes on, and it's not Naperville, because I don't think Naperville's a racist town, and I want to make that clear. I think it's filled with great people. Um, you know, uh, it's not the most diversified town in the world, but that's not a sin in and of itself, I don't think. But I think it's a town that's certainly moving towards understanding and acceptance. And again, what I saw out there on the Hearts for Peace protest was beautiful, and all the hearts being hung all over Naperville was beautiful. And meeting these young ladies was awesome. And seeing all the people out, handing out the messages of love and peace and caring and understanding, I thought was beautiful. And that's the Naperville that I live in. And I know it's not a perfect town, but there is no perfect place. And I'm blessed to live in this beautiful town. I really appreciate your post yesterday. Thank you, Denise. It was good to bring awareness of what's going on. Yeah, some people didn't feel it was so good. Some people thought I was rationalizing their behavior, and I don't know if I was or wasn't, but I was trying to understand. And again, I've met them. I've seen the tears in their eyes, and I felt honest remorse that these women didn't know what was going on, and it was a heated moment. And we all make mistakes, and we all do things in the moment, especially in these times, that are wrong, and doesn't make somebody an evil human being for making a mistake. And I made a mistake yesterday with Anne Marie. It doesn't make me a bad guy, I hope. And I don't know. We all do it, and I'm trying my best to understand and forgive, and I hope other people do that as well. So anyway, it's been a crazy week. We've shot a lot of live videos. We've done a lot of scooter riding. For those that are watching, do you like the scooter ride videos? Please answer that. I'm curious. We get a kick out of doing them. It gives us to show the town as it is, or show where we are as it is. And Anne-Marie and I can exchange. Hello, John. Thank you for liking my video. Hello there. How are you?
Good morning.
What's your name?
Gianna.
Hi, Gianna. Keep running. You look great.
So you.
I look great. I'm sitting in my PJs drinking coffee. She's running. She's making me look bad. Or maybe she'll inspire me to action. You like the scooter ride, Scott? You do like the scooter ride videos? Yeah, we have fun doing them. It gives us to cover a lot of land. And when you're on a scooter, you have a chance to, you're at a stoplight or something like that. It gives you a chance to interact with the man on the street or the woman on the street. And we've done that. And it's fun because we'll go, cruising through Naperville and, tooting our little horns and saying, hey, what you're painting on the wall is beautiful, or thank you for your efforts and putting those hearts out. And I think it's given us a chance to touch, to show more and to touch more and hopefully to, make a difference more, plus have some fun while doing it. So anyway, I hope I haven't bored you. I tend to ramble, and I had a lot on my chest that I wanted to get off, and I hope that's relieved some of it for me. But we're proud of we're excited to have the businesses take the boards down, and we're hoping I like them too, but let Anne-Marie handle the video. We don't want any accidents. Well, Fritz, I get that. I mean, she's certainly handling the camera. You're scared. Slavka, why are you scared for Anne-Marie? Why aren't you scared for me? But anyway, we love shooting them. We thank you for watching them all. I thank you for watching this video and watching it, for the year I've done it. I can't believe it's June 6th already. I'm going to open up my second cup of coffee. Cheers. It's not as hot as I'd like it, but I'll just make do. Yeah, we've, again, it's been a crazy week and an interesting week. But anyway, I'm scared for you, Ken. Thank you. Good morning, Carlos. You're scared on me riding the scooter? Well, I don't know. I know there's risks in life, and I think it's important not to shy away from living life the way you want to live it. And yeah, riding a scooter and doing a lot of things, like going to a protest, or a lot of things in life bring risk, and I don't think you should stop living the way you want to live. I mean, just because there's some risk involved a little bit. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. The humidity's down. The sun is out. Anne Marie and I will be out riding our scooter around Naperville. I think we got some real estate. I know we do to do today. We actually had a crazy, busy week of real estate, which feels real good. I think we put a couple homes under contract. It feels somewhat shallow to talk about real estate after talking about the moments of protest, but I like to recap my week and talk about things that are important. So that's certainly part of it as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, I'm almost done with my coffee. I'd love to answer them. You can pop them in this. I'll try and answer them all for you later, or I'll answer them for you as I'm finishing up my last sip. I'm going to have to get a warm-up because this is way too cool. But anyway, as I was saying, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the likes, the loves, the hearts, the shares, the love and support you've given me and you're giving Anne Marie and myself over the last year while I'm doing these videos. Sometimes they're hard. You put yourself out there, you have no script or no plan, and you just start talking, and you don't know where it's going to go. So it's always a scary feeling for me, but it always feels real good after I've done it, and people seem to like watching and like drinking their coffee with me on Saturday morning, so that makes me happy. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend going forward. I see a lot of people out and about, so I would encourage you to get out outside today. The weather looks beautiful. I think it's supposed to be. Get outside today. Get some fresh air. Get some exercise. Do some good things. Take a walk. Maybe come down to our beautiful town of Naperville and see what's going on if you don't live in the area. I'm excited for the businesses to be opening back up, and I'm sure they will very, very soon, and the boards will come down. So I encourage you to get out and see all these messages of love that are up on the walls. See all the hearts. See all the colors on the walls and the messages. And it's a really, really good feeling, because if you're sitting at home watching the news and watching rioting and not exposing yourself to all the good things that are outside your front door, I think you're getting a limited version of the message. And there's more to it than you're seeing on the news, I promise you. Go out, see the hearts, talk to some people, smile at some people, and try and make a difference. And I guess that's all we can do. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.